I guess the question is, grassroots, are we ready to go live? I have it written down here, Amy. Hi, Susan. Is Auden coming?
I don't believe so.
Does anybody know? No one ever tells. I've not heard
Dinner
otherwise.
is not coming.
No, I think he's in Moab.
Oh, sure. I'm always in Moab for I've not heard, so I don't know. I just talked to Jen, so I assume she's coming. Okay, so, let's call the meeting to order at 6-ish. And, Pam, can you give us a roll call when you get to that point?
I am there, madam.
Okay.
Let's start with Gary Tenenbaum,
Here.
Katie Schwer,
Here.
Bill Infante,
Yes.
Jackie Whitsitt,
Yes.
Auden Schindler,
No.
absent, Jennifer Riffle, and
On her
Ryan
way, I
Sly.
think.
Here.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you. We want to thank Grassroots as always. Thank you, Amy. She's doing this deal live. You can also watch it, recorded version of it at grassrootstv.org. Thanks, Amy. And tomorrow, across the street at Cece's, is the Mayor's Coffee. If you want to come over, it's 8 to 8:30. Would love to see you if you have questions or just want to chat. Let's see, our first item is the consent agenda that's got the minutes, and we probably want to pull that reso off, right? Somebody, who's got this item?
If you'd like to, it's on the consent agenda.
I think that's the whole idea, so let's,
Yeah.
is there,
A motion to approve the minutes from October 8, 2019.
we want to pull 3A, that resolution for 3A off.
And yeah, that's why I'm motioning just to approve.
Oh, just the minutes, okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Jeff, did you want to introduce the 3A one, and maybe,
Sure.
Gary could read it? Do you mind reading it?
Sure. So I'll provide a brief introduction. As you know, on the
Okay.
ballot for the coordinated election is issue 3A, which would set the town's general operating mill levy at its present rate. The Fair Campaign Practices Act authorizes jurisdictions to pass resolutions in support of ballot measures such as this, which is why it's appearing in the agenda. And this is the opportunity for the council to pass a resolution showing its support for issue 3A,
Great.
if it would like.
Gary, did you find it?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to read it, just so people know one more time what it is we're doing? Hi, Jen.
It's a resolution of the Town Council of Basalt supporting ballot issue 3A to set the Basalt General Operating Mill Levy. I wanted to read the whole darn thing.
Oh, okay. I guess not. It was an opportunity, but
It's a long, it's.
it is sort of
It goes all
long.
the way to K.
Okay. All right, well, I think Jeff explained it pretty well. So is there a motion to pass this reso?
I motion to pass resolution number 40, series of 2019, supporting ballot issue 3A.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, guys. If there's members of the public that want to make a comment regarding something that is not on our agenda tonight, this is the time that you should do that. It's a 3-minute item for folks that want to chat for a minute. Okay, hearing nobody, we will move on. Mayor and council reports and comments. Does anybody have anything they'd like to report since last meeting?
Just confirming the boats that they found 6 boats in the ANS inspection at Rudai, which is a great program that we help support as the town and as local counties. And then I want to give a kudos to Eagle County. They're kind of adjusting the way they're doing their childcare funding, trying to make it equitable on both sides of the valley, and I think they're making awesome strides in supporting our local childcare facilities in new, unique ways that I think are helping different types of retention bonuses and I don't know how to describe the other one, but it's basically to keep younger classrooms, which
Incentives.
are incentives.
Great.
So
Good to
good
know.
job,
I
Eagle
didn't know
County.
that, Ryan. Thank you.
On-
Jen had her hand up, and then Gary.
Wanted to thank Governor Polis for coming to visit the Basalt Vista housing project. That was a really fantastic turnout, photo op, and to highlight what we're doing here. So thanks for him and all involved.
Thanks, Jen. Gary?
I was just gonna jump in and just say, I wanted to thank Ryan for really stepping up on the Child Care Coalition board. I have been very lax on that board, and you have really been able to step in. I wish they didn't do it on 10:30 on a Thursday morning,
Oh, jeez.
because that's really difficult for me to get back from Aspen. So, but thank you, Ryan.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Anyone else? Bill?
Tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, down at the Carbondale 3rd Street Center, there's kind of an after-action climate action event hosted by Clear and Core, pulling together a bunch of folks from the Valley to talk with John Fox Rubin, who will be moderating about climate initiatives in the Valley and the communities, and kind of citizen responsibility and opportunity for them to engage. So it should be a pretty cool event.
Thanks, Bill. Katie, do you have anything?
I don't, thank you.
Okey dokey. Thanks, guys. Does anybody have anything for Ryan's manager's report? Okay.
No,
good.
he's gonna travel tomorrow and we'll see him back on Thursday.
Sounds good. Okay, our next item is Basalt Public Arts Commission 2020 Work Plan and Budget. Susan and Watkins, would you like to?
Oh, well, I think our main team members here, Jeff Orsolak and Watkins.
He was here.
They're probably talking about their presentation, so give
Okay.
them a second to walk back in.
While they have stepped out, it looks like, are you Shannon? You were not here when we were thanking you guys for doing this little thing, and so I only saw one person, so I didn't say thank you, Shannon, as well, but thank you for working on this. Yeah. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, we got water now. It's like,
You don't know what's in there.
when I don't know the answer to the question, I just stop and grab a glass of water. Is
That's
that
right,
the
or if
plan?
you think you're gonna
We
cry.
drink vodka, too.
We can have drinking games.
Watkins, are you the lead on this guy?
Yes, ma'am. This is Jeff Orslack, as everyone knows. And so what we're presenting is the real preliminary work plan and budget for BPAC for 2020. Had a couple of conversations with the group, and again, very preliminary. These 3 projects that we have listed are what we're thinking about right now. And the reason for the ranges that we have listed here is that we're waiting to see what we get from this current grant cycle. This is the second round of the BPAC grant program that we're doing right now. That closes November 3rd. So we're waiting to see what we get, and that's gonna kinda inform, our future, what we think the appropriate amounts would be. Maybe some really great stuff and we wanna bump it up. We'll see. What do you have to add?
First, I want to say thank you guys so much for all your support. It's been fun to kind of get this rolling and start getting some of the arts money out into the community. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys got the opportunity to go to the Pumpkin Jazz, which was something we funded as a community, and I think it was great. I think all the restaurants were really excited to kind of see that little bump in a kind of time of year when it's a little bit quieter. And then we've got the other grant that's kind of coming together too, which is very interesting. We're all really excited about that one because we want to see how it comes together. And it's just such a, there's always this conversation of kind of engaging the Latino community and how do you do that and how do you do it in the arts and how do you do it in general.
Right.
And the other one is, for $2,500.
And it fell into our lap.
It kind of happened our way. So it's really exciting. And so we're excited about having this range to kind of see where things go. We've got another grant cycle out, and pass the word. November 3rd is the deadline, and so we think this gives us a lot of flexibility. The other thing that's kind of nice is Modio's been around longer than we expected. The artists are not ready to take it back yet. They've been busy, so.
They probably don't have a big enough garage.
I think Burning Man had something to do with it. It kind of slows down their focus a little bit. So, but it's been great that we get a few extra months out of that. So it's pretty exciting that's happened. But we're excited with the way the process is going. Like I said, we appreciate your support and happy to answer any questions you guys may have.
Questions, comments?
Yes, but
Bill?
I was just typing something about this, about the November 3rd closing of the next round.
That's right.
Yeah, I did just have, kind of a question about where we were in 2019 and then where we are in 2020, because the November 3rd round is actually for 2019 funds.
That's correct.
And so if you could just give us, kind of an overview of what we did in 2019, as with all other committees, I have asked in the spirit of accountability and transparency for just a one-page summary.
Okay.
What'd we do?
We can,
How did we spend the taxpayers' money so that we ourselves, when we may not have participated in pumpkin jazz or other things, know what tremendously community-building events these are, and we can represent them. So, if you could get a synopsis for 2019,
sure.
acknowledging, of course, that we haven't yet received the November 3rd grants, but then the summary that we have here is for 2020, I take it.
That's correct.
Got it. Okay.
And Bill, there's a requirement in their ordinance that set them up that they do an annual report, and that annual report is actually due in February.
Yeah.
So that's why you're not seeing, I mean, they would have, if they would have known you were looking for it, but they were just kind of, I think, responding to their.
Is it okay if we stay on that cycle? It seems to have been working for us in the past.
Yeah, is it okay? Because then I think they could give a more complete picture of 2019, since I know you don't have this in your hands on the top of your head.
You always end up with a mismatch of funding cycles with
Yep. Understood.
cycles.
Well, sometimes it's nice to have all your executive reports, on a certain day.
Yeah.
And maybe we can start, if that's the case for all the committees, maybe we just all slide into the same schedule and we just
Well,
reposition.
yeah.
That's fine with us.
I agree, and I guess this is something for council to discuss. The only advantage, or among the many advantages that I could foresee, if we know how great the work is you've done in the 12 months to, say, September 30th, September 30th is when we begin really in earnest, looking at the 2020 budget. And frankly, if you've done heroic things, guess what? You'll get more money for the future, for the next year. Waiting till February to tell us what you did isn't as good as giving us the tools to go to bat for you guys in the current budget cycle, which we're currently in.
Sure.
So that's the method to the madness.
Happy to do that, and that's fine. February to
good
September.
I
Yeah.
have a comment related to that,
go
but
ahead.
we just went through the whole process of redoing all these committees, their expectations and their deadlines, and now we're contemplating changing them again. I don't really
I don't think that's
feel-
what we're asking for.
Well, you are, you're asking for it to be due in September instead of February, and I understand your logic behind it, but if that's the case, then we need to do all these documents all over
Regroup it.
again.
Yeah.
For everybody, yeah.
Well,
If
maybe I
we
should
need
just
to, then we
clarify that we didn't redo BPAC, because what we were, BPAC was already established by a prior ordinance in 2016-17, and Basalt Affordable Community Housing Commission, they were established by ordinance. So what we were trying to do this last year is one of the goals was to, the committees that weren't established by ordinance, we were trying to establish them by ordinance. So we did the Green Team, we did Post by ordinance, who hadn't been done before, nor was the Basalt Financial Advisory Board. So we didn't go back and revisit the groups that we already had ordinances on.
So,
That
in,
helps.
in the spirit of fairness and consistency, let's, let this slide tonight, because we need to make this decision as a board and not have, any of us asking you to bring special reports. But we will address it as a board if Bill wants to.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, so if we want to put that on the agenda then for a meeting later this year, that would be fine.
Sure. I mean,
Because, again, it's only in your interest.
Yeah.
The more information you give us, the more regularly you report, and nobody's asking for 50-page reports. Get us a paragraph, let us know what's going on.
Sure.
This is
Yeah.
just, it helps you.
Hey, Missy. Okay, anything else?
Well, yeah, I am curious too, I'm kind of interested, who's gonna be on the BPAC board this year?
Yeah.
Because we just approved 2 new people, and in the February 2019 report that was appended, it looks like a lot of water's kind of now passed under the bridge, and so just curious what the update is.
Who we're adding?
Yeah, who are the commissioners, who's gonna be the chair, who's who?
Well, I'm hoping that somebody else wants to be chair.
Jeff?
So we put that out there, and you
The
know,
decision will be made when you're not there.
exactly, that's the problem.
And we'll reassign you.
So, no, I think we have a good team, and, you know, kind of a chair is just it's kind of a name, not really a position for us. It's, you know, we're all kind of working and rowing the boat together. So, we're excited. We haven't met the two new folks yet, in a meeting context yet, just kind of by email, those kind of things. So we're excited to bring them on, bring in some new energy, which is gonna be greatly appreciated, because it's, you know, there's a lot to think about and a lot, that we want input from the community and from other folks.
Absolutely,
So,
positively.
So to answer your question, we'll assess that at you know, probably in January, hopefully, looking for a new board member, or new chair, so to speak, and then kind of go from there.
Okay, and you guys are still meeting the, whatever, first Thursday of every month?
Yep, yep, and you guys are all welcome anytime.
Yeah, 'cause that's what I was gonna say. I think, you know, it'd be fun to come join you guys.
And what's really, other thing that's really nice is we're seeing that as we kind of grow over time, you know, now people are coming to BPAC when there are arts questions in the community, which, you know, wasn't happening at first and now is. So that's really nice that we kind of starting to kind of create a chain of command to help you guys out, so we can kind of screen things, then bring them to you if we think it's the right time.
Excellent. The only thing that I had heard from the community too, I know that you and Post and P&Z were of course very much involved in this river master plan, and a couple artists actually said, both of them sculptors, said, hey, how come there isn't greater integration of that master plan and what will be the developed area with the prospect of placing sculpture out there? So I just wanted to ask if you guys could take another quick look, and before the river plan, master plan is put to bed, see what you guys think.
Okay.
Because you've talked, I mean, sculpture has been the denominator of public art in the past. I think that this is frankly wrong-headed and misguided, but to the extent that we do embrace sculpture as one of the many forms of art, if we're gonna develop a whole new 2.5 acre, multi-million-dollar place, you know, where else do you wanna
How
put
does
it?
art integrate into that? And is it sculpture, is it creating opportunities for activities and events there that kind of
Right.
fit into that? Yeah, I get
So
it.
I hope you guys, I know you have been involved, but,
Yep.
you know, another kind of thumbs up, green light from you guys would be helpful.
Great. Sure.
Is that it? Anybody else? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're having
Thanks,
a
guys.
lot more fun these days than we used to have, now that we're chatting.
I didn't even get any vodka.
It's not too late, it's sitting right there.
Take the whole thing.
Yeah, take the whole thing. And if there's any food out there, help yourself.
Thanks. Thank you so much, guys.
All right.
Thank
You guys.
Have a good night.
And
Have a good
congrats on the
evening.
new members.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It is super.
We're
Yeah.
excited the grant process is going. It's really exciting. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Missy. Okay, appointment to Basalt Financial Advisory Board. Christie.
Fantastic. This is an exciting moment for me too, to have a conversation about new members to our board. So, and just love that community involvement. But our newest addition recommendation is for Simon Dogby. He's a financial advisor, and he's lived in the Valley since 2001 and has a lot of interest in community involvement and making a difference. And I think he's a great fit, and maybe the committee can tell you a little bit more.
Sure, so, I was actually the one, I will take, blame and credit for outreaching to Simon and wrangling him into this. After, seeing him at some of the master planning, work sessions that we had, just seeing that a community member was showing up, wanting to be involved in what the future of Basalt is like, and recalling Simon's financial background, I thought he would be a really fantastic fit for the Financial Advisory Board. And he's passed all of our rigorous tests, prodding, questioning, and he's going to just be a fantastic addition to the already really hardworking, diligent group that we have.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, I've known Simon for a really long time as well as a friend and on the financial side. And he's very, very solid. He's very pragmatic. You're not gonna be able to make Simon like nervous or anything. So anyway, thank you for thinking of him. I should have thought of him myself, but. So, I guess we just need, do we need a motion here?
Mayor,
Yes.
I move that the town council appoint Simon Dogby to the Basalt Financial Advisory Board.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Anything else, staff people, or?
Yeah, I'd only like to suggest, actually, with appointments to any committee, I know it's a perfunctory and pro forma thing, but it would be nice to have the people show up to the town council meetings, just so we can see who they are, get to meet them in the spirit of transparency and openness. Like to just,
And
you
we
know,
have done that in the past.
We don't make it a
Sometime.
requirement, and I don't
But
think
we should.
I don't think we should,
Why
because I
not?
think that they're busy people, and it's a,
And committees are separate from town council.
But-
How about if
They're
everybody
advisory-
raises their
oh,
hand
sorry.
starting right now? So we don't get these things going on. Jennifer?
Okay. Members of committees are by appointment, and they are advisory, and they are volunteering. And they do have, it's not written in their bylaws of the committees that they must attend a certain number of council meetings. They just need to attend their committee meetings. And so I think it's,
I obviously have a very, very different opinion. I think it is an honor and a privilege to serve on these committees, and for them to show up so that we can thank them for their contribution to our community is the very least we can do. And to show up for 2 minutes is not an excessive burden, in my opinion, and it also gives us the ability to simply know who they are. Otherwise, these are invisible humans who occupy committees that are supposed to be advising us. So again, we have a big difference of opinion here. But I would like to ask that council consider making it, you can't, we can require actually, but I don't know that we need to go that route. I think we want to simply encourage them for the purpose of accepting our acknowledgement and appreciation.
I think it's fine to invite them, it should not be a requirement.
Mike? Hello, Mike.
Okay,
okay
you
with
all
that.
heard that.
I'm totally open to inviting them here and seeing if they'd like to show up. I don't wanna
Yeah.
make it a requirement.
Sounds good.
I'm in the same, yeah, of an
Yeah.
invitation is very welcome, but
I mean, it's
requirements.
kind of like when you're awarded the Nobel Prize, you don't have to show up, it's not an obligation, but boy, I mean, it's quite an honor, isn't it?
You give me the Nobel Prize, that's much different
You're
than
gonna show
putting me,
up?
putting me on like the finance committee, that's
No.
torture.
Okay,
It is an honor, no.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry, Christie. I totally blew that one. I am very apologetic that is the most important and fun committee that we have.
What was your expression today? Accounting is fun.
So, is there anything else regarding, his appointment? If not, we are adjourned.
I want to thank Christy so much for 54 pages of checks, 54
Yes.
pages of like 8-point font that were sent out, and to Pam and the whole team. Thank you.
We are already adjourned.
Dinner this evening and serving it and having it all done. It was so wonderful. What a night off. Thank you. Thank you both.
It was fun, just take that. Thanks, everybody, for showing up tonight. I know it was a very short agenda, but it's just one of those things.
Sometimes it's a blessing.
Yes, I was about to say, I'm like, don't apologize for that.